Hello everyone, welcome to We Learn Legal. This is class 6 of the Constitutional Law Legal Reasoning Complete Playlist series. Through this complete playlist, we are trying to cover the entire legal reasoning syllabus for CLAT exam. प्लीज रिमेंबर कि इससे पहले ऑलरेडी 4-5 क्लासेस हो चुकी हैं, तो अगर आपने वो नहीं देखी हैं तो पहले आप उन्हें देख लो। यहाँ पे साइड में आपको एक पूरी प्लेलिस्ट मिल रही होगी, प्लीज उसको देखो, तभी आपको इस क्लास का समझ में आएगा, ठीक है। और दूसरी बात ये है कि ये क्लासेस लास्ट ईयर हुई थी हमारे पूरे प्रॉपर पेड बैच में, इसलिए लाइव क्लासेस हैं। इन क्लासेस को मैंने एज सच रॉ फॉर्म में ही अपलोड करवाया है, सो दैट यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड द जिस्ट ऑफ एवरी टॉपिक फ्रॉम द डेप्थ. Apart from that, you know my name. My name is Sheva Khan. I am BLLB Honors Batch Gold Medalist. And इस चैनल के थ्रू मैं आपकी हेल्प करूंगी to crack CLAT exam and have utmost clarity when it comes to all other legal exams as well. Let's get started. In this class, we are going to read about Article 13 of the Indian Constitution, जो fundamental rights का एक बहुत important part है. Article 13 basically commonly उसको हम judicial review के article के नाम से भी जानते हैं. But go through this class. If you have any doubts, you can join my WhatsApp group. Link is there in the description box below, and you can ask about it as well. Good luck.
So yesterday we read about Article 12, in which we got to know that Article 12 has defined state, right? All of you remember this, that it defines state. So Article 12 is the beginning of fundamental rights. And can you guys quickly tell me that in which part of the Constitution are fundamental rights? Part number? So there are 12 schedules, there are 25 parts total. Remember, Article 12 plus 13 will be 25. Okay, so just try to remember these things. Okay, now today we will be studying about Article 13. Before we begin, I would like to ask you all that we learned in yesterday's class that just answer me. Is legislature a part of Article 12? Matlab the meaning of state under Article 12? Yes or no? Legislature. Should I put a tick in front of it or should I just cross it up? Right. Okay. Executive. Is executive a part under the, is it under the meaning of state? Yes. But judiciary, is it also under the meaning of state? No. Yeah. So what state ke meaning mein nahi hai, and the reason is nothing but Article 13. Okay. So Article 13 is a super power of the Indian judiciary, which is known as the power of judicial review. Okay, very important. You can always expect a question from judicial review. I'll tell you why, because we'll also read it in today's class also. The electoral bond scheme, which was so famous, recently it has been struck down by the Supreme Court by making use of its power of judicial review. Okay, so this is very important. So let's start with this. So abhi dekho, let's read this article. What does it say? The Supreme Court declares electoral bond scheme unconstitutional. Very important this word is. Unconstitutional. क्या मीनिंग हो सकता है unconstitutional का? That the Supreme Court is saying कि भैया जो electoral bond scheme है ये unconstitutional है. What is it? Why? क्या होता है unconstitutional? Something that is what? Very good. Something that is not backed by the Constitution. Simple as that. Something that is not in favor or that is against the principles of the Constitution of India, that will be unconstitutional. Okay? So here, how did Supreme Court get this power to declare a scheme as big as the electoral bond scheme completely unconstitutional? So what was this power, bachcho? This was the power of review. नाम में ही समझ में आ रहा है, judicial मतलब it is done by the judiciary, and what is done by the judiciary? A review. ठीक है? So basically overhaul. मतलब कि it just went into it and it reviewed the entire matter, and then after this judicial review, it came to the conclusion that this electoral bond scheme is unconstitutional. तो मैं तुम लोगों को ना एक idea में समझा देती हूँ. Can anybody tell me, or do you have any idea what was the electoral bond scheme? See what was there? That, for example, in India there are a lot of political parties. ठीक है? Now these political parties require a lot of funds to function, है ना? तो funds चाहिए होते हैं, पैसा चाहिए होता है. Bonds बच्चों क्या होता है? If any one of you is a student of economy or has studied economy basic also, bonds are basically the paper of promise. तुमने बहुत कॉमन भाषा में सुना होगा कि अभी क्या बॉन्ड साइन कर लिया है क्या? मैं तो नहीं कर रहा. क्या बॉन्ड साइन कर लिया है क्या कोई? हैव यू हर्ड ऑफ दिस? पीपल से दिस समटाइम्स, यू नो, कि बॉन्ड साइन थोड़ी कर लिया है कोई. इट मीन्स कि कोई ऐसा अग्रीमेंट तो थोड़ी साइन कर लिया है हमने. So basically, bond means that you give something and in return you get a promise. ठीक है? And mostly what do you give? You give money. ठीक है? So you're giving money and in return you're getting a promise. Let's say that I am signing a bond and I am giving 5 lakh rupees and I am getting a promise in return that after a period of 10 years I will get 6.5 lakh rupees. Anything like that, है ना? तो उस प्रॉमिस पे मैंने वो बॉन्ड साइन किया और कुछ पैसे इन्वेस्ट कर दिए वहां पर, राइट? सो जस्ट थिंक अबाउट इट, इफ बॉन्ड्स आर दिस, देन व्हाट वुड बी इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स? तो सिंपली दैट मनी दैट यू आर गिविंग फॉर द पर्पज ऑफ इलेक्शन. Okay, so let's say that you have a political party, you really favor that political party and you want to help that political party as much as possible. Okay, now if you want to help that political party, देखो भैया ये उन लोगों के काम होते हैं जिनमें पैसा बहुत होता है. तुम पे है पैसे बॉन्ड लगाने के लिए? कहीं पे भर दिया बॉन्ड? है तुम पे पैसे? मेरे पे भी नहीं है. ठीक है, सो आई नो ये थोड़े से उन लोगों के लिए है जिन पे crores ऑफ मनी है. देखो, फंडिंग इज नॉट लाइक कि चलो यार 101 रुपए दे देते हैं, बीजेपी का भी थोड़ा भला हो जाएगा. भाई वो गोलगप्पे भी नहीं खाएगा तुम्हारे 101 रुपए के. ठीक है, so this is actually like industrialists, the people who want to contribute for the political parties. So they give them, let's say 10 crore rupees, 1000 crore rupees, 100 crore rupees, whatever the amount. ठीक है, इसको समझना, because this is how you will understand the function of judicial review. तो हुआ क्या कि when the scheme of electoral bonds came, it said that okay, if you want to fund a political party, you can just give some money and get a bond. ठीक है, तो उन्होंने कहा कि ठीक है, if you want to fund a political party, you give some money and then we will issue bond. So in India, State Bank of India was given this responsibility that you can issue bonds. मतलब आप एक promise कर लो और अपनी political parties के लिए पैसा ले लो. Anything that's sounding unfair till now? क्योंकि it was almost like a donation only. Almost. ठीक है, almost. I'm not saying donation, almost. So ये almost है. ठीक है, तो अभी तक कुछ गड़बड़ लग रही है यहाँ पे? Not really, है ना? But the problem in this entire scheme was who is giving how much money to whom. Nothing was clear. कौन किसको कितना पैसा दे रहा है कुछ पता नहीं चलेगा. So it was like anonymous bond. So anonymity was problem. Understanding? Now just think about it that I want to get a special tender from the government और मेरे को पता है भाई ये government, if this government comes in power and if I give them 1000 crore rupees, अब directly तो उनके बैंक अकाउंट में डाल नहीं सकती because it will be like a bribery. ठीक है, so what I did that I just gave 1000 crore rupees as a bond to my favorite political party and I am doing this so that once this party comes in power I will get this tender, nobody else. ठीक है, so यहाँ एक problem. Can you look at this? Because it is nothing, not at all transparent that who is giving how much money to whom. Now this lack of transparency बच्चों was against the very important rule of RTI, that is right to information. So if at all, if I wanted to ask also ना कि भाई I want to know that how much money has Adani given to this political party, I could get no information whatsoever. So RTI is a fundamental right under Article 19 of the Indian Constitution. We'll read this when we read fundamental rights, okay? So the Supreme Court saw that till here everything was okay. But जितना आपने इसको opaque बना दिया है that nobody can raise a single question, there is no information, no clarity, no transparency whatsoever, this is against the fundamental rights of the Constitution, which means against Part 3 of the Constitution, and thus it should be held as unconstitutional. Getting? So this is the power of fundamental rights. If there is any law that violates our fundamental rights, I'm not talking about reasonable restrictions, okay? But which is a very normal, valid right, और उसको भी अगर आप रोकने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, so any such thing will be declared as unconstitutional. And who has this responsibility to declare it unconstitutional? The Supreme Court, the judiciary, which बच्चों is called as judicial review. Now do you understand why was it necessary to keep judiciary away from executive and legislature? Think about it, अगर वो उनका साथी संगी दोस्त होता है ना, so वो कभी ये डिसीजन नहीं ले पाता. right? It is like the system of checks and balances. कि I keep a check on you, you keep a check on me. Getting बच्चों? So this is very important. So had we not had Article 13 or the power of judicial review, this bad and bogus scheme would never have gone away. And people would have just, adjusting their black money. क्योंकि तुम्हें क्या लग रहा है ये इनकी क्या बहुत ही तनख्वाह से कमाए हुए पैसे होते हैं 1,000 करोड़ जो दे देते हैं. It's all black money. They're saving taxes. तो टैक्स सेव करके डोनेशन के नाम पे दे देते हैं. They don't have to pay taxes. रोड नहीं बन पाती, हम भरते हैं टैक्सेस फिर. Get it? So that is why this was a clear way of, putting your black money in this kind of business. तो उसको पकड़ा और सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि भैया ये स्कीम अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल है. Getting? So I hope that now you're understanding the importance of the Article 13. And Article 13 gives Supreme Court on the judiciary power of judicial review. So I hope that you have understood. Isko, I will share these slides with you. Do try to give this a read. Okay, it's a very beautifully written article. So just say, देखो, a landmark unanimous. अच्छा, you understand the meaning of difference between anonymous and unanimous? किसी को confusion है? मुझे बताओ अगर किसी को confusion है. एक वर्ड होता है एनोनिमस और एक वर्ड होता है यूनानिमस. देखो बिल्कुल अलग अलग शब्द हैं दोनों, ठीक है, बिल्कुल अलग अलग शब्द हैं, वो टू वेरी डिफरेंट वर्ड्स. एनोनिमस मतलब वेयर देयर इज अननोन आइडेंटिटी. गॉट इट? कि एक संदिग्ध कोई एक जो था, अनोनिमस मर्डर, somebody murdered somebody, we do not know who this person was, right? So that is anonymous. जैसे वो donation थी anonymous, कि you cannot find out the name. But unanimous is something that comes out, a decision that comes out with, मतलब जिसको मैं क्या बोलूंगी, I'm not getting the right word. मतलब the unity. हाँ, मतलब I can say so. Let's say कि there were 6 people who were taking the decision, ठीक है, and जरूरी नहीं है कि 6 से 6 में favor में दिया होगा. Let's say 4 said something and 2 said something. But ultimately majority will win, है ना? But we will never be able to find out as to who said what. Or finally whatever the decision is, हम उसको follow कर लेंगे. Getting? That is unanimous. Okay? So whenever there are sensitive judgments ना, so it is never revealed that which judge said what to keep the judge safe. Okay? तो इसलिए इस यूनानिमस वर्ड को याद रखना, क्योंकि कभी ये क्लैट में भी आ सकता है किसी क्वेश्चन में, तो कभी तुम अनोनिमस समझ लो उसको, ठीक है? तो इसको याद रखना. अनोनिमस इज वेरी यू जस्ट डोंट नो हु दैट इंडिविजुअल वाज. यूनानिमस इज एक साथ लिया हुआ डिसीजन, हमें नहीं पता किसने क्या बोला, पर एक डिसीजन है जिसको हम मानेंगे. सो इसको रीड करना, ठीक है? दिस इज अ वेरी गुड आर्टिकल. नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट विद दिस व्हिच टॉक्स अबाउट आर्टिकल 13. सो 13 में ना बच्चों, आर्टिकल 13 में देयर आर 3 क्लॉजेस. रिमेंबर आई टोल्ड यू यस्टरडे, clauses is nothing but 13 bracket 1, 13 bracket 2 and 13 in bracket 3. In legal bhasha, in legal terminology, it is spoken like this: 13 clause 1, 13 clause 2, 13 clause 3. Okay? So इसमें confuse मत होना. This is how we speak it. Okay? So Article 13 में there are 3 important parts of Article 13. Like here you can say first portion, second and third portion. Okay? So Article 13 clause 1. तो वन सिंपल से बोलता है that all laws in force, where in force, in the territory of India, when immediately before the commencement, ठीक है? So break करके पढ़ना, ठीक है? No need to just do. So all laws that are in force in the territory of India immediately before the commencement of this constitution. So when did the constitution commence? What was the date? So commencement of constitution बच्चों, I am not talking about adoption. I am talking about कि भैया कब यूज होने लगा, एक्टिव कब हुआ, इन फोर्स कब हुआ, ठीक है? It was 26 January 1950. So what is it saying? That all laws that were in force in the territory of India immediately before the commencement of the constitution, which means before this date, in so far as they are inconsistent with the provisions of this part. Which part? Part 3. क्योंकि भैया ये part 3 में तो है, Article 13 भी, ठीक है? Shall to the extent of such inconsistency be void. I know ये पढ़ने में बड़ा अजीब सा लग रहा होगा. ये simply ये कह रहा है कि कोई भी ऐसा लॉ, ध्यान रखना, कोई भी ऐसा लॉ जो इंडिया में फंक्शनल है, I'll tell this in English also, don't worry, ठीक है? कोई भी ऐसा लॉ जो इंडिया की टेरिटरी में फंक्शनल है या था, और कब से फंक्शनल था, इस डेट के पहले से भी। जैसे अगर मैं एग्जांपल दूं, कोई गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट का था 1935, कोई और लॉ था जो एक्टिव था, ठीक है, तो वो अगर पहले से भी एक्टिव था, बट अब क्योंकि भैया इसके बाद हमारे पास आ गए हैं फंडामेंटल राइट्स, अग्री, क्योंकि इससे पहले तो वी डिडंट हैव द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, सो वी डिडंट हैव फंडामेंटल राइट्स आल्सो, बट लॉज तो कुछ कुछ पुराने भी थे, है ना। सो अगर कोई पुराना लॉ ऐसा है जो अब के नए आए हुए फंडामेंटल राइट्स को वायलेट करता है, यानी वो उनके अगेंस्ट जाता है, तो उस लॉ का जो भी हिस्सा इसके अगेंस्ट जाएगा वो वॉइड हो जाएगा। सिंपल से नहीं होता कि अपने खिलाफ जो भी गया वो उसका काम खत्म समझो। गेटिंग इट इज सिंपल एज दैट। So for all the Hindi speakers, did you understand? I will then explain it in English also. Okay? Yes, Samriddhi. Simple as that. It would be null, just like how electoral bonds. चलो ये तो अब नया आया हुआ law था, ठीक है? Let me give you an example. If sati was a law, if I'm saying I know it was already abolished. Let's take an example. If sati pratha was a law under the Hindu Act, let's take an example. ठीक है? Do you think it would have survived after fundamental rights? नो, है ना, बिकॉज इट वॉज अगेंस्ट राइट टू लाइफ। भाई बिल्कुल राइट टू लाइफ के अगेंस्ट है, राइट टू डिग्निटी के अगेंस्ट, क्यों कोई मरेगा भाई किसी के पीछे, सिंपल एज दैट, है ना। सो इन दिस केस इफ सती वुड हैव बीन अ लॉ, इट वुड हैव नॉट सर्वाइव्ड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस आर्टिकल, because it gives the power to the Supreme Court that if at all there is a law that was in force even before the Constitution, but if it is now causing a problem to fundamental rights, so till whatever part of that, see one more thing, if there are 5 I would say points in a law, ठीक है, total, but let's say only point number 2 and point number 4 are causing problem to fundamental rights, so what do you think, will we only strike down 2 and 4 or we will strike all the 5 points? ये सिंपली क्या बोल रहा है कि इफ दे विल बी इनकंसिस्टेंट, हम कह रहे हैं कि भाई 5 पॉइंट्स हैं बट पांचों तो खराब नहीं है, 2 और 4 प्रॉब्लम कॉज कर रहे हैं, 2 and 4 are causing problem, ठीक है। सो दिस clause also says that if it is violating any portion, any fundamental right, then to the extent of such inconsistency, जहां पे उनके बीच में consistency नहीं बन रही है, it will be void, which means that we will not strike down पूरा का पूरा 5 points. We know कि भाई point number 1, 3, 5 are good. We'll keep those, but 2 and 4 will be put into dustbin. Got it? So in a way, we don't want to disrespect the already existing laws like completely. We just want to get away with those portions of that law which are not in consistency, not in consistency, please, inconsistency मत समझना, not gelling well with the fundamental rights. आ रहा है थोड़ा समझ में? So I'll give you one, like I'll explain this in English for all the English speakers. So simply बच्चों, this part only and only says that if there was any law that was made before the commencement of the Constitution. So commencement of the Constitution was on 26th January. So if there was any law which was made before the commencement of the Constitution, and now after the commencement we have fundamental rights under part 3, and now if it is not gelling well with this portion, then let's say that if this much portion of that old law, previous made law, is not working well, we will cut it out and only keep this much portion. Okay? I think it's easier now to understand, which means, yeah, I'll tell you what this is. Retro movies kya hoti thi? Which are retro movies? So something that is dealing with the past or that is old in nature. Hai na? So simple as that, because Article 13 Clause 1 has the power to touch the laws that were made even before the commencement of the Constitution, this particular article is retrospective in nature. Simple, nothing else. Because aamtaur pe generally what happens, if a law is made today, it is made for the coming times. Na? Like let's say that IPC has been moved to BNS. Hai na? So it will be only applicable after the date of 1st July 2024, because अभी फोर्स में आया, उसके पहले से तो नहीं होगा, उसके पहले तो आईपीसी है ना। सो दिस इज प्रोस्पेक्टिव व्हेन यू थिंक अबाउट द फ्यूचर, बट इफ देयर इज, एंड रेयरली आर एनी लॉज लाइक दैट, बहुत कम लॉज होते हैं, बट देयर आर सम लॉज लाइक दैट आर रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव इन नेचर। ओके, सो रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव वर्ड बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस वर्ड बच्चों, रेट्रो से याद रख लेना। So if there is a law that has the power to even move to the previous date, पिछली बीती हुई बात पे भी अगर वो जा सकता है, then that law is retrospective in nature. I hope you understood this, okay, everyone? So that is 13 clause 1. So देखो, ये मैंने पहले जब कराया था, मैंने बच्चों को ना याद कराने का तरीका कराया था. One of the most iconic old movies. Which one is it? शोले. ये तो सबको मुझे लगता है पता ही होगा, ये सबने सुनी है, अब तक की जनरेशन तो सुन रही है, ठीक है. So शोले was a retrospective retro movie, पुरानी मूवी है, right? So just think that instead of this, Dharampaji is saying तेरा. तेरा नाम क्या है बसंती, and तेरा is what? Article 13. ठीक है? So just remember it like this, that Article 13 clause 1 has the element of being retrospective. ठीक है? तो कभी कंफ्यूजन होएगा तो इस तरीके से you can try to remember that Basanti was an old one. ठीक है? This movie is an old one. Old means retrospective, and तेरा is simply Article 13. Okay? Now 13 clause 2. So देखो, this is the iconic date that we are all talking about. So if 13 clause 1 is covering the laws that were made previous to 1950, what do you think 13 clause 2 will cover? So अगर commencement हुआ है 26 January को, so the laws that were made before will be covered under 13 clause 1, and that were made after this date will be covered under 13 clause 2. Simple. Everything is exactly same. ठीक है? Everything is exactly same. Just that this will keep a check on the laws made before 26 January 1950, and this article will keep a check on the laws made after 26 January 1950. Same, baki sab same. That they should not be inconsistent with the fundamental rights, and if they are not gelling well with fundamental rights, then what will happen? Then whichever part of that law is causing problem, it will be shut down. Simple. So it is simply saying that the state shall not make any law. मतलब आगे की बात बोल रहा है, which is not in concurrence with the fundamental rights. और अगर ऐसा है, so till the extent of contravention, मतलब जहां तक भी it is causing problem, that law shall be void. Simple. Iconic example of this is the Shreya Singhal case. Okay, it is a very famous case of 2015. So what happened? It talked about the IT laws. So IT Act है ना, Information and Technology Act 2000. Okay, so there was a section in this, section 66. It said, मतलब it was actually against freedom of speech and expression. So it just said कि मतलब आप online आप उतना speech and expression नहीं कर सकते. You cannot, put forward your views if you're talking on Twitter, Facebook, or whatsoever. Don't you think it's very flawed? कि भाई, if I have speech and expression, so can I not express myself on social media? So Supreme Court thought that it is actually not working well with the fundamental right of speech and expression. And in this iconic case, सिर्फ एक जो section था of this act, section 66, was struck down. So remember, the whole act was not brought down. Only that section which was not working well with fundamental rights was removed. Understood? ठीक है? So अब जो मैंने बात करी 13 clause 1 and 13 clause 2 is done with something that is to be filled over here. Okay? So 13 clause 2 and 13 clause 1 basically gives us something. I can give you a hint. The first alphabet is the alphabet which is something close to this. We have executive, we have legislature, and we have one more thing. That one more thing का जो पहला letter है is this. What is it? The second letter over here is something that is that India is. Article 1 says India, that is Bharat, shall be a dash of states.
Union of States.
So the first alphabet जो है वही है. What is the first alphabet of this? U. ठीक है? Very good. Now the third alphabet is something that India is. It is also written in the preamble, and the word is democracy, and the letter is D. Chalo, very good. Okay. Now, अच्छा ठीक है, just try. I just want you to guess. कम से कम guess work तो हम कर ही सकते हैं. You know the word है ना? पूरा word तुमको पता है, but at least let's try to guess the words. Now this letter is the letter with which the word जो है ना, the word that also starts, it was added in the preamble through 42nd Amendment Act.
Integrity.
So the letter would be I.
I.
ठीक है, very good. All right. जो next letter है, that is something that is only single in India. Okay, let's do this if you can do. ठीक है, that's only single. मैंने आपको एक बार बताया था that in United States of America people follow or people get the advantage or like they follow double dash.
Shift.
So that is C. ठीक है, और भाई अब तो मेरे ही दिमाग का कोटा खत्म होने वाला है. लेट्स सी और क्या है. ठीक है, तो अब ये जो लेटर है, दिस लेटर इज समथिंग हाँ चलो लेट्स ट्राई दिस. ये उनके लिए है जो क्रिमिनल लॉ थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ चुके हैं या एक क्लास भी करी थी ना जिन्होंने डेमो क्लास. सो दिस इज एक्चुअली द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ डैश which is followed in the Indian criminal system, that unless you are proven guilty, you will be considered as dashed by the courts. Very good. So this is I, innocent. So this is the rule of like principle of innocence, बच्चों. ठीक है. तो Indian judiciary इसको follow करता है कि not unless you are proven to be guilty, somebody will prove, court will consider you to be innocent only. ठीक है. Okay. So the next one is this is something. Okay. This word is something that is written on this slide also right now. Very important for the constitution is article. ठीक है. All right. So now the next one is the law-making body of India. What is it called? Legislature. शाबाश. So it is judicial. शाबाश. अब तुमको पता तो है ही क्या भरना है, पर मैं ट्राई कर रही हूँ तुम लोग words add कर पाओ. Okay. Now if the head of the state is elected, that country is called something. What is that? Republic. That would be R. ठीक है. All right. So next is, okay, through which process are we choosing this person, you know, as a republic?
Election.
Okay. Elections. ठीक है. All right. This can be a tough one. This can be a tough one. थोड़ा सा दिमाग अपना लगाना पड़ेगा तुम लोगों को. When I talk about defamation, ठीक है, so defamation is simply when you try to defame a person, you say some bad things about it, due to which his reputation gets hampered. Okay, but if you are a member of parliament, है ना, there is something that you enjoy, so that if you speak anything about a person in the parliament, within the parliament, you cannot be held for defamation. What is it that you enjoy? क्या होती है वो चीज जो उनको मिलती है? थोड़ा टफ है ना. थैंक गॉड तुम कहीं तो रुके तुम लोग. It is called as something exactly that because of this they cannot be held for defamation, because they were enjoying that cheese in the parliament. पावर है, पावर तो है, वो खुद ही एक पावर है. क्या सुमृति? हाँ, very good. So that is a parliament. कैसे पता लगाया ये? हाँ, so actually it is called as a parliamentary privilege. तो क्योंकि MPs के पास एक privilege होती है, because they are in the parliament at that moment, so they can say anything about anyone. नया anything मतलब गाली गलौज मत ही करो. But even if they get to anyone, they will not be held for defamation, because within the parliament premises they enjoy parliamentary privileges. So this will be P. ठीक है? चलो, very good. So हाँ, now this word is something जो अभी हमने पढ़ा है. This is something that if a law is against the fundamental rights, under the power of judicial review, the Supreme Court has the power to declare that law as dash. हाँ, void है, void is correct. ठीक है, void is correct. But void का actual वो है क्या, मतलब basis क्या है? That was there in the article that the Supreme Court has declared the electoral bond scheme as, yes, that is unconstitutional. So basically void का मतलब यहाँ पे यही होगा कि it will be unconstitutional. Okay, so if something is unconstitutional, it is automatically void. Okay, okay. So this is very easy. This is another name for India. ठीक है, इससे मुझे पता चला, अरे ये मैं रिपब्लिक क्यों भर रही हूँ? तुम बता तो नहीं रहे मुझे. अरे यार तुम सब
सही बताया था.
तुम सब मुझसे ज्यादा होशियार नहीं हो, इसका मतलब मेरे जैसे ही हो थोड़े बहुत.
नहीं, ऐसी बात नहीं, हमें लगा हम ही गलत है.
अरे नहीं भाई, रिव्यू था ना तो कुछ. ठीक है, रुको.
हाँ, मैंने ही बोला था.
ओके, ठीक है. तो चलो, ये जो अल्फाबेट है, दिस इज समथिंग, ये तो बड़ा अजीब सा है, इसमें तो क्या ही भरे हम. वीटो ही कर लो यार. चलो वी भर लो. चलो कोई नहीं. नेक्स्ट आई से करते हैं समथिंग. हाँ, नाइस, दिस इज वेरी गुड. अच्छा, वो प्रिंसिपल ऑफ इनोसेंस, हाँ वो भी हो गया. करेक्ट किया नहीं यहाँ पे तो. ओह नाइस नाइस. इंस्टिगेशन, दैट्स आल्सो वेरी गुड. चलो एक और ट्राई करते हैं. समथिंग दैट द इंडियन जुडिशरी इज. dash and dash judiciary.
Independent.
Independent and integrated.
Integrated judiciary, both are I. Very good, very good. ठीक है. एक है हमारा कोई और पूछ लो. पता अल्फाबेट तो तुम्हें पता ही है. पूछ लो क्वेश्चन. मेरा तो आज का कोटा ही पूरा हो गया ऐसा लग रहा है मुझे. क्या है इसका कुछ वर्ड नहीं
आज की क्लास का मेन टॉपिक क्या है, मतलब अभी तक जो चल रहा था, अब क्या आ सकते हैं?
क्या था आज? चलो ठीक है. लेट्स मूव आउट ऑफ लॉ. क्या हो गया फिर, है कि नहीं? चलो. दिस इज द एनिमल स्पीशी, ठीक है, विच इज जिसकी हाईएस्ट पॉपुलेशन है कर्नाटका में. So
And
this animal species has its
Elephant.
highest population in Karnataka.
Elephant.
Yes,
elephant.
elephant. Okay, so elephants are highest population are there in Karnataka. The next is in Assam and third is in Kerala. Okay, okay, okay. Last is So there was a very important social battle that was fought by Nelson Mandela in South Africa because of the difference between dash and dash. So उसमें जो एक dash है, that is this alphabet. Racial difference between the blacks and whites. Simply there was a fight like of the races, and this was this. ठीक है? So this is the immense power that the judiciary enjoys, and it is called as judicial review. यहाँ तक आया. Now this is the only thing simple as that. Last चीज है इसकी Article 13 Clause 3. तो बच्चों 13 Clause 1 was what? Can we say it was retrospective or not? It was retrospective, right? Because it was applicable on the laws which were made before the commencement of the Constitution. Now 13 Clause 2. One word which is the opposite of retrospective, which is prospective. Okay? Prospective will be the laws which will be for the future use. ठीक है? And the 13 Clause 3 है ना, it is nothing to do with judicial review as such, but it explains what is a law. जो हम बार बार बोल रहे हैं ना, any law inconsistent, any law which is like that, any law. What is law? So देखो इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में ना बहुत अच्छा काम किया है कि they have explained everything, so that कुछ भी पूछो लिखा तो है भैया यहाँ पे, लिख लो पढ़ लो. ठीक है? So law का definition दिया है that what exactly is the meaning of law under Article 13. So this article says that unless there is any other thing written, a law will include what? Any ordinance. Ordinance, anybody knows what an ordinance is? Any idea? सुना होगा कभी? हाँ, मतलब एक authoritative direction or decision, but किसका? Either the president or the governor. So only these two authorities have the power to pass an ordinance. So simple as that. बच्चों होता क्या है? That in India, who is the lawmaking body in India? Union पे कौन है? जल्दी बोलो. Union पे कौन है? Who is the lawmaking body in the union? जल्दी बोलो भाई.
Legislature.
हाँ, legislature तो है name. Lawmaking union में कौन है? Parliament. शाबाश. And in states, do we have? They're called as the state legislatures, जिनको विधानसभा भी बोलते हैं. ठीक है? So generally what happens is if a law is to be made, they will make the laws. But there are some times when the parliament, or as depending upon the situation, the state legislature, they are not in session. Session में नहीं होता, मतलब अभी उनकी बैठक नहीं चल रही होती है. So when they're not in session and an urgent law is to be made, it is made for the union by the president and state के लिए by the governor. ये है article 123 है president का. ठीक है? So in such circumstances, a law can be passed even by the president or the governor, which is called as ordinance, nothing else. ठीक है? तो एक emergency law making power है जो president पे union के लिए और governor पे state के लिए होती है. Okay? So any ordinance, any normal order, any bylaw which is a part of the main law, any rule, any regulation, any notification, custom, usage, or anything for that matter. Let's take an example. Sati Pratha. Even though if it was not a law, it was a custom. था ना ये custom? So even this could have been struck down by the use of 13 Clause 1 because this was against the fundamental rights. Okay? So law का मतलब बच्चों सिर्फ ये नहीं होगा जो पार्लियामेंट ने बना दिया है. Even a regulation, a notification by any government office. ठीक है? If they are going against fundamental rights, let's take an example of this. Read this carefully बच्चों. एज पर दी आरपीडी एक्ट, ठीक है, ये देखो क्या लिखा हुआ है, person with any form of disabilities don't have to stand in queue for medical treatment, vaccination, ठीक है. So this was a notification. This is a notification. ऐसे ही आते हैं ना, official notices ऐसे ही होते हैं, ठीक है. Let's take an example. If this notification said that if there is any person with disability, PWD पता है ना, person with disability, okay, they are not allowed to take the exam. इनको exam लेने ही हम allow नहीं करेंगे. This was a notification, but it was against the fundamental right of equality, life, dignity, so many things. So do you think that this notification could also be struck down under the power of judicial review? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Bilkul yes. Because the ultimate purpose is to keep the fundamental rights safe. Okay. And even if there is a notification which is against the fundamental rights, so by making use of judicial review, even this notification can be struck down. Okay. So now, yes. Now this is the last, this is very simple, not that important, but just read through it. It just says that nothing in this article shall apply to amendment of the Constitution under Article 368, which means when we are defining the meaning of law under 13 clause 3, all those things are included. Order, bylaw, notification, all of these things are included. But an amendment, that is a new change that has been brought, will not be under the meaning of law. Okay? You have to understand this. So, kabhi koi question is tarah ka aaya ki ek new amendment hui, which is doing like this. So, it will be struck down under 13 clause 3, 13 clause 2? No. Because wo is article ke according law ke meaning mein nahi aata. Okay? So, this is important. Now, nobody is saying that no amendment can be checked by the court. They can be, but not through the meaning of law under 13 clause 3. Got it? So otherwise there will be an eye on it. So the latest amendment in the, ye tumhara ek general trivia hai actually. So which was the latest amendment in the Constitution? It is the 106th amendment, which happened in 2023, which talks about reserving 30% seats, okay, for the women in the legislative bodies of the country and Delhi. Got it? So this was all for today's class, bachcho. So I hope that you understood this.
So I hope कि आपको ये क्लास अच्छी लगी एंड आपको यहाँ समझ भी आया होगा. दिस वॉज द एंड ऑफ दिस क्लास, बट इसके बाद और भी क्लासेस हैं इसी सब्जेक्ट की, तो आप उन्हें ज़रूर देखना. ये बैक टू बैक एक प्लेलिस्ट में लिस्टेड है, सो मिस मत करना. एक भी क्लास मिस करोगे तो अगली आपको समझ में नहीं आएगी. ओके, सो डू वॉच द नेक्स्ट क्लास एंड स्टे ट्यून विद द चैनल इफ यू वांट टू कवर एंटायर क्लैट सिलेबस विद अस इन दिस वीडियो लेक्चर सीरीज. स्टे ट्यून. सी यू देयर.